What kind of virus? You don't remember the disease?
I don't think so.
Anyways, how can we check this virus? By using what device or what tool?
Like a microscope
A microscope. And what can we call this virus?
with the
We can call it microscopic. Microscopic.
okay, like this down.
So the virus, bacteria, even tiny critters that we can't see by our naked eyes, we can check them under microscope and we can call them microscopic. So whatever you check under the microscope,
It's like an like creatures like ants. You can't see them very well.
no, ants, we can't call ants like microscopic. We can say ants are microscopic. Microscopic means very
Yeah,
tiny,
I know
like
what you mean.
virus and bacteria. But also we can,
ants' face.
when you remember this video when we saw the head of the ants, it was scary. You remember, Amjad, the head of the ant?
Ah,
You remember this
We
video?
use a microscope.
headland.
Yeah. So look here. Talal Dawood, as you read,
As you read these 2 pages, draw lines connecting the pairs of tools being compared to each other. Scientists' tools can be heavy
science tools.
and expensive if you to observe the tiniest pond life.
Yeah.
You'll need scientist tools that are
Science
too big
tools.
or too detect to be carried into the field. For example, scientists use computers to record and analyze data, construction models, and communication with other scientists.
Stop. What's wrong with your voice?
It's from yesterday. We had guests come over.
You need to take a rest. Thank you. Mohammed Nazim,
Yes.
we are going to move to the next page. This one.
Yeah.
It's a comparison between different types of microscope and even some tools in the lab. Light microscope. Can you read this part? What is light microscope?
Okay. The tiny living things in the pond water are microscopic or too small to see with.
Stop. What is the meaning of microscopic, Muhammad?
The meaning of microscopic or too small to see with
Yeah.
just your eyes.
This is the meaning. This is the meaning.
Yeah.
Microscopic means too small to see with just your eyes. So we're going to see them under microscope. Read that. Go on.
Okay. Your eyes. A light microscope magnifies things or makes them look bigger. The object to be viewed is placed on a clear slide.
Yeah.
Light passes through the object and two lenses. You look through the eyepiece and turn knobs to focus an image.
On image. Muhammad, have you seen a light microscope before?
No, not even in my life.
Boys, if you have a light microscope in your home, you can raise up your hand. Just raise up your hand.
No.
If you,
But
if you have
in
seen,
grade 3, we have a one.
Mhm.
He bring a microscope in the grade, like
yeah, in the
bring
lab.
it to the school.
Yes.
Yeah,
what's
and
up,
we
Tom?
see it.
Do you say my name?
What do you say?
Why do you ask me?
Yes. Have you seen microscope before?
No.
Light microscope. Even if you do you know what is the shape of the microscope? Especially the light microscope.
Yeah. I see, teacher. I see.
Yeah. Boys, please open your camera. Thank you, Amjad, for opening your camera. Anyways, I'd like to say the light microscope, we can use it in the lab to see what things? The very tiny thing that we can't see them by our eyes, our naked eyes. This is light microscope. But you know, sometimes we cannot use a light microscope to see tiny things. We need something more powerful than light microscope. We need something can see very, very tiny things. Even the light microscope can see them. So let's check this one. Sattam, you can read this one. It's called electron microscope. Read it. Sattam. Sattam.
Yes,
What
teacher.
is electron microscope?
The what?
Electron microscope. Electron microscope.
Electron. You want me to read?
Yeah, read it.
Okay. Light microscopes have been around for 500
Years.
years, but
Technology.
technology or people's use of tools has improved today.
Today scanning electron microscope. Thank you, Sultan. Suleiman, go on.
Where?
Read from this part. Today, a scanning electron microscope.
Today, a scan electron microscope SIM can magnify an object up to 1 million times. The SIM shoots a beam of electrons at the object. An image of the surface of the object appears on a computer screen. Mister,
Yes.
also they use microscopes to see if the diamond is real or fake.
If what?
They use the microscope to reveal if the diamond is fake or not fake.
Wow, this is a very, very valuable information. Thank you, Suleiman, for telling us this information. Yeah, sometimes they use special kinds of microscope or even lens to see if the diamond is real or fake. Okay, Suleiman, what is the magnification of this electron microscope? Don't forget yourself, Suleiman.
Sorry.
What is the magnification? What is the magnification of this electron microscope? Like how many times can we see the objects in a big size? How many times?
1 million.
Yeah. Can we see the same magnification scale in the light microscope?
No.
We can't. So what is better, light microscope or electron microscope?
Electron microscope.
Electron microscope. Let's see what is
Can I read?
microscope.
Mister, what is the second box?
The second what?
Box there.
Second box?
Yeah.
iPad. We are going to read it, but after seeing
Mister, can I read?
yeah, you can read, but after watching this video about scanning electron microscope.
Okay.
Focus, please, focus.
Microscope. Scanning electron microscopy is one of the most fascinating examination methods. This video shows how it works in practice. Main components of the microscope are column for electron beam generation, specimen chamber, vacuum pump, monitor, and control panels. The material tester turns on the vacuum pump control and vents the specimen chamber. After pressure equalization, she can open the cover plate of the specimen chamber. Together with the cover plate, the stage pans forward. Now different specimens can easily be placed on the round stage. The filament of an old used light bulb, part of a welded tube on a sample holder, a small cobalt plate, and a golden piece of jewelry. All specimens are assembled and we are ready to start. The material tester carefully closes the cover plate and switches on the 2-stage high vacuum pump, as well as the electronic control. It takes about 3 minutes to obtain a sufficient vacuum in the specimen chamber and column. Meanwhile, she turns on the monitor, initializes the motorized stage, and boots the microscope control. Only now she is allowed to switch on the high voltage and the thermionic cathode. For the first time, a reasonable image appears on the monitor. It shows part of the specimen stage. The last image of the filament can be seen.
Now we can see tiny, very tiny things under the electron microscope in 1 million times magnification. 1 million times. It's so strong microscope, so strong microscope. Let's go back to the book. Amjad. Some tools in the lab, like dropper. What is dropper?
A dropper is a tube with a rubber bulb on one end. Squeeze the bulb and then dip the tip into a liquid. Release the bulb and the liquid will be sucked up the tube. When you slowly squeeze the bulb, the liquid drops out.
Yeah. So if you go into the lab, you will find this dropper in the lab. And here in this text, you can understand how can we use this dropper in the lab. Squeeze the bulb. You can see the bulb of this dropper in the top.
Yeah.
So the scientist,
You press it.
the scientist is squeezing it from the top, the bulb, and then dip the tip into a liquid, inside this cylinder, this tube. Then release the bulb, and the liquid will be sucked up the tube. Okay?
Okay.
This is dropper. The last thing here. Talal Ghamdi, can you read what is pipette?
Yes, mister.
What is pipette?
Pipette. A pipette is a tool like a dropper, but it's more exact.
Exact.
Exact. It is used to add or remove very small amounts of liquid. Pipettes often have marks on the side of the measured volume. One kind of pipette makes drops so tiny that they can only be seen with a scanning electronic microscope.
So if you are a scientist and you work in the lab, what do you prefer to use? A pipette or a dropper?
The pipette, of course, because it's more exact and you can see where you're putting it because it's scanning with an electronic microscope.
And also pipettes often have marks on the
On
side.
the side of the measured volume.
Yeah. So you can search on the internet about pipettes and what is the difference between pipette and dropper. Now let's make a trip into the lab and see how scientists deal inside it. Get ready.
Hi guys, I'm Faiza. I work at Wellington SDL as a microbiology and molecular technician. Laboratory technicians do different testing to find out what is causing a disease or an infection. We are basically like science detectives who are trying to help the doctors to diagnose and choose the correct treatment for the patient. It makes me feel like I'm doing something good in this world. So microbiology is the study of microorganisms, which could be things like bacteria or fungi. Molecular is just the same thing, but we're looking for the genetic material of those microorganisms. The difference is that in microbiology, you have a sample that you can grow, and because you can grow, then you can do antibiotic testing that's suitable for that bacteria. But in molecular, you have a target, which could be a DNA and RNA, and that's what you're finding. When you're a laboratory worker, you do shift work. I do 8 a.m. until 4:30, and sometimes I have to do 1 p.m. until 10 p.m. I would look at what area I'm covering and how much samples I have in the day that I need to be finishing before I go. But you can never predict the workload. It can always change day to day and season to season. In my department, I work with 40 people. We test community and hospital samples. So we do a variety of tests on different samples, and those samples could be blood, urine, feces. We do a lot of different kinds of swabs, which could be throat swab, genital swab, wound swab, and you get a lot of different bacteria and microorganisms from all of these. Today I'm doing fecal PCR. So these are for people who have gastrointestinal problems. They could have salmonella, they could have Campylobacter. So that's what we're trying to find out by doing this testing. I like how I have a very...
Yes, Amjad, do you have a question?
Mister,
Yes.
do you look on the like the glass?
Yeah.
That when you put it or anything do you want, and then you can see it in the telescope or the microscope.
So we
Like
can say
blood, anything.
it's lens. We can say it's lens.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
you put it on the glass,
Yeah.
and then you put it on the microscope, and you see it.
Is it any kind of glass or a special kind?
I think it's special kind.
Special, not all glasses. Like, you know, if someone wears glasses like this, you know, is it special?
Okay, like when you.
Yeah, this is not a regular glass. It's a special kind of glass. The scientists improved it to be suitable to different kinds of people.
Like when you put another glass on sink, like a liquid sink, it's how I tell you, like it's go anywhere.
You can search on YouTube as well about lens. Look, you can write different kinds of lens.
You choose a lens for shooting video, and what do the different lenses actually look like? In this video, we're going to be looking at some examples so you can find the perfect lens for your next shoot. Coming up. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And on this channel, we do a lot of tips and strategy videos, as well as tech gear reviews and demos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And hey, at any point during the video, check out show notes and links in the description below. I'm gonna be talking about a lot of different gear and accessories. Body shape. That's going to go into lens choice. The second question that you want to ask is, where are you shooting? And then when you start to think about that, maybe the place you're shooting is going to have low light conditions, so you need a lens that will actually do well in that. Or maybe it's a really tight, constrained place. So even though you want a certain look, you only have so much space to deal with. That's going to...
Amjad, did you understand? Amjad?
Huh?
There are different kinds of lens. You can see?
Yeah.
The
When
lenses are different.
He have a lot of things.
Yeah,
You
a
can
lot of
see it.
Last of all, we are going to see in less than 1 minute what is pipette.
I think I know this thing.
Welcome to the video on techniques on the use of a pipette. In this video, up the solution. If you're right-handed, depress the pipette bulb in the palm of your right hand. Hold the pipette in your left hand, but keep your index finger near the top of the pipette. This will make it easier to put your left index finger over the top of the pipette and hold the level of the solution when you remove the pipette bulb. Keep the tip of the pipette below the surface of the liquid to avoid sucking up air and sucking the...
So this is the shape of pipette. You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Please revise this video. If you have any questions, send a message anytime. Thank you very much and see you later. Don't forget
Bye.
extra math class. Bye-bye.
Okay.